This photo of the full moon rising behind the Olympic rings on the Eiffel Tower didn't happen by chance. It took me a little bit of planning to figure out how I could line this up and even if it would happen. So about 2 weeks before I traveled to Paris, I realized that on July 21, the day that I was arriving, there would be a full moon. And so I thought it would be a good way to kick off my Olympic coverage by photographing the full moon over a famous Paris landmark. And what more famous Paris landmark is there than the Eiffel Tower? So I checked out the Photographer's Ephemeris app, which helps you line up the moon or the sun when you're photographing landmarks. And it looked like I had like two chances to line up the moon with the tower. And one was a spot which was pretty far away, about 3 kilometers away from the La Défense area. And the other was right in Trocadero Square, which is about 500 yards away from the tower. What I didn't know is obviously the height of the Olympic rings and whether or not I'd have good weather on July 21, meaning would it be cloudy? Would I even be able to see the moon? But it all panned out. And the hard part, it turned out, was actually the access at Trocadero Square because the whole area along the Seine River had been cordoned off due to security prior to the opening ceremony, which was part of the opening ceremony was taking place right there in Trocadero Square. But luckily, I got in using my photo pass, my accreditation. The whole Trocadero Square was off limits to general public, and a few minutes before the the full moon started to rise, there was about 10 security guards that came along, and they were clearing out the area because they were closing down for the day and they wanted us to leave. I was there with another photographer, and anyway, long story short, we talked them into staying. The moon came up, the clouds went away, and the rest is history. It lined up perfectly, and we were in the right spot, and it was a great shot. The camera I used is a Sony A7R IV, and I was using a 70 to 200 millimeter lens with a 1.4 extender. And don't remember the exact exposure, but it's probably about 500th of a second at f2.8 or f4.